and she writes for this magazine called Fast Company. And through this article, she exposes the excessive emphasis on success and materialism. Quote, "Of all the subjects we obsess about, success is the one we lie about the most. That success and its cousin money will make us secure. That success and its cousin power will make us important. That success and its cousin fame will make us happy. It's time to tell the truth." This is a non-Christian, a secular person. It's time to tell the truth. Why are our generation's smartest, most talented, and most successful people flirting with disaster in record numbers? Tiger Woods, right? People are using all their means to get money, power, and glory, and then self-destruct. Maybe they didn't want it in the first place. Or maybe they didn't like what they saw when they finally achieved it. Or maybe they didn't like what they saw when they finally achieved it. End of quote. Another man by the name of Paul Johnson, he writes for a very famous magazine called Forbes. And in the Forbes, he says something very poignant to this thought of success and the empty promises of it. He says, when I look at the Forbes 400, the 400 wealthiest men of the world, when I look at the Forbes 400, the billionaire and the celebrity rich list, I wonder how many of the people on them are actually happy. He says, of course, it is desirable. Success is desirable. Fame and power is desirable to my mind. That all business activities be rooted in the Judeo-Christian teaching, both theoretical and practical, or conform to a morally defensible framework or principles. We should not pursue wealth. This is a non-Christian again. We should not pursue wealth, fame, and success for their own sake. We should not pursue wealth, fame, and success for their own sake. If we want a chance at happiness as well, our vision must be placed much higher. Last week I asked us a chilling question, didn't I? Well, I hope it was chilling. Because what I asked y'all last week, if you were here, was why did you choose your major in college? Why did you choose your job? Why do you desire that promotion or that position? Many times we choose our major and our rankings not so much to ask the question, how will this job help others? How will this job benefit others? Instead, we ask the question, how will this job help me? And this causes much frustration in the workplace. That is why much of our teachers, from first grade or K all the way to college, and a lot of the people we see even in prestigious places like hospitals and law firms, they are unsatisfied and disappointed by their job. That is why an average person in the course of 10 years changes their job multiple times. Because we are asking the question, how will this job, how will this major help me make more money? Help me become successful? Help me stop feeling inadequate? Isn't that the question? I even know pastors who pursue, I may be talking about myself, I even know pastors who pursue this clergy, this pastoral position to fight off that sting of inadequacy. But we must ask the question, when we choose our jobs and our majors, how will this benefit others? How will this help them? There are two lessons that actually three, but I'll just run them down really quick from last week. There are two lessons that I shared last week from the story of Naaman that I want you to know, and even if you were here last week, please don't tune me out. Please pay attention, okay? The first lesson that I got from the story of Naaman and his leprosy is that there are some things in life only God can do. There are some things in life, my friends, my brothers and my sisters. There are some things in life only God can do. Naaman had all the money in the world, much like Magic Johnson. But Magic Johnson is not cured of HIV. And Naaman could not cure himself of leprosy. Achievement, money, and power cannot kill and make alive. Naaman in his mind felt that if only I can remove leprosy from my body, I can truly be in the know. I can be exclusive and elite. I can be in the inner circle. Don't you feel good when you are one of the few people in the room who know what's up, what's going on? You feel successful. You feel complete until everybody else finds out. And then you're back outside the circle. Naaman understood that. And there are some things in life only God can do. Naaman found out that the king of Israel, Yahweh, God, cannot be put on a leash. He cannot be bought or appeased. He cannot be sold out, nor is he a sellout. See, Naaman realized that all these other gods around him, they could be bought. They could be persuaded, but not God. He did not need anything from Naaman. So when he brought his riches, when he brought his little letter of recommendation, God said, so what? So what? You know, many of us are looking to New Year's resolutions, as I mentioned, to redeem our past failures. But even your New Year's resolutions cannot do, will not do. There are some things in your life only God can do. And Naaman discovered that. We must discover that. Secondly, I spoke about last week, that if you want God's grace, if you want God's healing, if you want God's provision, if you want God, all you need is need. All you need is need. All you need is nothing. That's some good news. That if I want God and I need His grace, all I need is need. All I need is nothing. Remember when Naaman was told by Elijah, go wash in the river? Do you know what that constituted? Do you know what he was trying to imply? God doesn't need your money, Naaman. God doesn't care about your success. And God, sure enough, don't care who you are. But He's offering you grace today, Naaman. Just wash and you will be healed. But Naaman said, no, I can do more than that. I'm important. I'm successful. Last week I mentioned that if you asked a mathematician or a professor in college who teaches math to add 1 plus 1, and that would save his life, I'm sure he'd be confused. If you told LeBron James that all he has to do is make a layup, I'm sure he'd be a little offended. He'll tell you, have you seen my highlights? I can do a little more than make a layup. And so Naaman in his accomplishment felt he could offer God something. But what God was trying to tenderly show Naaman is that, Mr. Naaman, all you need is need. All you need is nothing. See, many of us in this room, we don't like that kind of God. Because if God is a God that we can buy, that we can purchase like at Best Buy, then He becomes an exclusive God, a private God, a VIP God. He becomes a God for you, but not you and not you. So we assume that God is after the successful. So, God can only use dentists, doctors, and lawyers to fulfill His will. He can't use janitors. He can't use those people who clean up the stadium after we leave. He can't use the trash men. And He definitely can't use a D or C student to serve in church. That's what Naaman believed. That's what Naaman believed. I know some praise team leaders, not Sam, but I know some praise team leaders who won't allow people to serve on the praise team unless they have A's. Whew, that made me hot. How dare you tell people they cannot be used by God because they don't have A's? But that's what Naaman thought. But he found out this God is not like that. The God of the Bible is for everyone. He is for everyone, whether we want to acknowledge